Crusty on the outside and soft on the inside with the aroma of a flavorful baguette. Yet these wholesome loaves have way more protein, way more fiber, and next to no carbs. How? With a couple of ordinary bread-making ingredients. And a few special ones, which is one of the reasons why I'm not taking any chances and blooming my yeast in water first to make sure it's active before anything else starts. Yes, there is sugar in there, but don't panic. Returning viewers will know it's not a problem because the yeast will turn that sugar into CO2 to puff up our dough, and ethanol, which adds to the traditional flavor of bread. There shouldn't be any left by the time our French-inspired loaves leave the oven, but I do keep it in the net carb calculation anyways, which we can go over later. If you appreciate a little tasty chemistry too, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. More bubbles? These tell us the yeast is alive and ready to move on to receiving our keto flour mixture made out of different low-carb ingredients, each playing its part to act like regular bread flour. The biggest challenge is replacing the starch, the main source of carbs in bread. It's a big part of what makes bread taste good. The fermentation of starch makes all those lovely aromatic notes in bread, turns to sugar when you chew it to add flavor, holds onto moisture so the crumb is tender on the inside, and is also responsible for making the crust. The starch gels on the surface of a loaf, and when heated enough, becomes crunchy. How do we replace all those functions while still keeping it keto and nutritious? It's too bad there's not just one magical ingredient to do it all, unlike today's sponsor, AG1. On the off chance you haven't heard me rave about it over the last 3 years, it makes such a difference in how I feel. Just one scoop, and I've already done something wonderful for my body without doing anything. Like that was the level of effort right here. Oh. There, that's the level of effort. I recommend it to all my friends and family. I take it with me when I'm traveling, and I even bring extra packs in case anybody wants to try it, because, well, I feel like it makes such a difference in my life that I would love all my people to feel it also. It tastes great too. It's like a hint of vanilla, kind of pineapple-y, but not like overly sweet or anything. It's very subtle. I'm drinking it plain now, but sometimes I like to add a little lemon juice or lime juice for like flavor variety, because that's who I am. But inside, there is a lot of nutritional variety. Like there's magnesium, which promotes relaxation. There is B vitamins, which is really important for energy, and a lot of other things. I could go on and on with their 75 minerals, vitamins, whole food source superfoods, probiotics for gut health. Actually, gut health is what made me try it out in the first place. It didn't take me long to feel the benefits. I had better digestion, fewer cravings, which is one thing that I didn't expect. Overall, better energy. It's all designed to support your immune system, your focus, mood, healthy aging, and it's been continuously improved over time through science. This is actually their 50-second version. For your peace of mind and mine, they're independently tested. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, keto-friendly, of course. You gotta try it to feel the difference. Use my link in the description or scan the QR code now, because AG1 is offering new subscribers $76 in free gifts right now when you sign up. It comes with this sleek shaker bottle. Not this one. You'll get a new one, don't worry. Comes with the refillable canister. So this goes in your fridge. It has a scoop on the inside too. It comes with 5 free travel packs, and also, very important, a bottle of vitamin D. The vitamin D, of course, is the vegan-friendly D3 plus K2, and it's in an olive oil carrier, I believe. It's in organic olive oil, and that's for better absorption. One bottle like this, it's gonna last me at least a year, so it's a really good value get included. And with that, thank you to AG1 for sponsoring today's video, doing it all for nutrition, and let's get back to finding what can do it all for the starch. We're gonna need a few things. If you've watched my previous vegan keto bread recipes, you'll know about the next main dough ingredients. So you can skip to this timestamp for the ingredients that really make the flavor difference. But for the newbies, there's one kind of carbohydrate that's completely keto friendly: dietary fiber. And by now, you may know one of the most famous ones for keto baking these days: oat fiber. Not to be confused with oat flour, which returning viewers will know. Oat fiber is made from the outer husk that surrounds the oat kernel, which is what oat flour is made out of. In contrast, the outer husk is pure dietary fiber, but still bakes up with the same aromatic scent as toasted oats. But not all brands are the same, so you can check on the label that the total carb number is the same as the dietary fiber number, meaning 0 net carbs. If only we could make bread with just oat fiber. But no, it doesn't hold on to moisture well, so pure oat fiber bread would come out smelling great and tasting like sawdust. Also, it won't rise. We'd have brick bread. That's where golden flax seeds come in. Flax helps the crumb retain moisture and add bulk to the dough without weighing it down and preventing rising. I always grind mine fresh. And these days I sift them for the best texture. And before anyone asks, I have tested other moisture-holding ingredients like chia seeds and psyllium husk. Unfortunately, they didn't work out. They made loaves that looked great but tasted dry and choky. Together, oat fiber and flax seeds create a bread-like flavor and aroma, but we need one more ingredient to make sure our dough rises. The only part of wheat we're keeping, vital wheat gluten. It's the protein of the wheat kernel, and that's what makes dough able to trap the previously mentioned carbon dioxide and puff up. The problem with this starchless dough is that after the yeast ferments that tiny bit of sugar we added in the beginning, there's nothing more to ferment, nothing to create the authentic flavor that is developed even with the relatively short proof of a classic baguette. So we're gonna fake it. Don't worry, it's not too weird. Well, my vegan viewers won't find the first ingredient weird. Nutritional yeast. It tastes savory, nutty, and a little bit parallel to cheesy. If you're new to Nooch, don't worry, you won't be buying it just for this recipe. It's amazing in plant-based cheese sauces, just as long as you don't put in too much and balance it with other ingredients. I personally love it for making kale chips, plus I use it in my vegan chicken-style broth powder. For this recipe, use 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast powder. If you have the flakes, they are less dense, so you could use like 1.5 to 2 tablespoons. Real fermentation produces lactic acid, but we'll take the carb-free shortcut with this lactic acid solution. It's sour without any other taste. So for this, it's way more suitable compared to lemon juice or vinegar, which are other additives I have tested. You only need a tiny amount. Add too much and it'll actually taste like overly sour, like an overripe sourdough bread, which is not quite what we're going for here. Are we ready to mix? Well, as a one-person show, sometimes I get distracted doing all the things at once and I get ahead of myself. But without salt, none of those flavors we talked about will really stand out. And for the crustiness that lasts even after the loaves cool down, well, you'll have to wait and see, because these ingredients have to come together, and even though it looks kind of dry and piecey, as we knead this in the stand mixer on speed 3 for 8 minutes, the dough will come together and eventually go from looking like this to looking like this. Smooth and uniform. It's still very stiff though, so I'm gonna let it relax, cover it, and let it rest for 15 minutes. Now, we're ready to divide and conquer. In my traditional Vietnamese baguette tutorial, you had to roll the dough into balls, then flatten them, and then roll them up with a very particular method. French baguettes also call for a similar technique, but for these babies, you just have to slightly degas the dough. By pressing on it, you'll feel the little bubbles pop under your hands. Then roll it up into a log shape, pinch the seam closed, and just roll. It's very easy. With a light down and out pressure, the dough will lengthen as you roll. And if you feel one section is a bit denser, just concentrate the pressure there and then roll outwards again. Easy peasy. Way easier than a regular baguette. I've actually tried many different techniques and they don't affect the final crumbs, so feel free to shape how you like. I'm using my favorite non-stick baguette pan, but it's not 100% non-stick anymore after one of my more, let's just say, foolhardy test batches. Long story short, oil plus high heat equals polymerization, which is not good for nonstick. Please don't make the same mistakes that I did. I'm going to put our unrisen loaves onto parchment. Parchment, as it turns out, can also double as a cover when you don't have a plastic wrap or any cat hair-free damp kitchen towels to cover your dough. Let them rest in a warm, draft-free location for 90 minutes or until they expand between double and triple their original size. About an hour to an hour 15 in, please preheat your oven. Earlier, if your oven takes longer than 15 minutes to fully preheat, you just want it nice and hot at 425 degrees Fahrenheit before your loaves are fully risen. And ours are. They are looking so beautiful, like unusually long sweet potatoes. And now for the slightly challenging part, slashing. You could use a razor blade. I'm using my Chinese vegetable knife because it's the only non-serrated blade I have and it's sharp. I'll do one with a slash along the middle just so we can see what it looks like. And for this final one, I'm going to take it out of the pan because I don't want to cut my pan. Yes, this one's much better. In fact, this is what I would advise you to do. Don't slash your loaves in the baguette pan. You don't need to. Just take it out. As I've alluded to earlier, starch is responsible for making a crusty crust. There's nothing in this dough that will do that. I've tried various methods and this is what works. Just layer on a bit of oil. The trick is we've sprayed our loaves with water, making the top layer a little bit more hydrated than the rest of it. And then we're going to seal it with some oil. And then you'll pop your glistening loaves onto the middle rack of your preheated oven, add 75 milliliters of water on the bottom metal tray, spritz a little bit more water and close the oven door. That steamy oven is going to encourage the oven spring, helping our loaves expand even more. Then, because we only put a limited amount of water in the oven, over the 25 minutes that this will bake, the water will evaporate and the air inside will become dry. This is the time that the crust develops. So when I open the oven door and we take out our loaves, you can see on the ears, it's darker golden brown than the rest of the loaves. That's what you want to see, a little bit of a almost charring at the tips. And even though it's going to smell so incredible, like freshly baked bread in your house, you'll want to let it cool down before you break into this. I was losing my light at this point, so I actually let it cool overnight. And the next morning, you could see that I could not resist a little taste from this loaf in the middle. And I have to tell you, it tasted so incredible. It really has the real flavor. A little bit savory, a little bit tangy. It tastes like it was actually fermented overnight. And this crust, it really is crispy crunchy, but it is thinner than your traditional baguette crust. That said, I think it's closer than any other vegan keto bread I have ever tried. It is my new go-to vegan keto bread for any occasion. I could just take this and slice it up and put a little bit of vegan butter and it's perfect. Actually, without vegan butter, it's also tasty, which I have never said before with any of my previous vegan keto breads. I always say you have to add a little something, toast it up, make sure that you put flavorful ingredients for your sandwich. No, this one you can eat plain. It's actually tasty. If you've ever tried one of my bread recipes in the past, I think you're going to love this one. And if you do, please tell me all about it in the comments below. Tell me what you would want to do with your vegan keto baguettes. And if you could help me out, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more vegan keto recipes and of course, kitchen experimentations. Thank you again to AG1. Please don't forget to check them out. And with that, I've got to keep working on your guys' requests. Bye for now.